Yeah, I know. Shots fired with that thumbnail and the title, but come on, you've got to admit, the number of F4U-1D videos that have dropped in the past 24 hours is straight up bananas. Like, you blink and boom, like there's like 37 new ones. It's totally normal when new modules drop, I get that, but geez, I mean, oversaturation much? Anyway, welcome back to another video. It's your boy, AdlerTag. And before we dive in, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who checked out my last video. The likes, the comments, the subs, you all showed up, and I really appreciate it. A lot of you had questions, so I figured let's do a proper follow-up and go over the stuff I kept getting asked. All right, so hands down, the most asked question I got was, how did you get the troops riding in the back of the Huey? And the answer is simple. I used the UH1H Attachments mod by Eightball. And you can see it on screen. It's a fantastic mod, and I can't recommend it enough. It lets you attach a bunch of stuff to your Huey, cargo, weapons, and yes, infantry. You've got both Vietnam-era troops and modern ones. You can actually see the modern troops in my video for This is Deutsch, if you check it out, as an example. But man, nothing hits the vibe of a proper Huey op like seeing soldiers packed into the back. It's just, it completes the whole look and the feel. The mod really elevates the aesthetic, and it's like taking the Huey from that's cool to, yep, I'm in there now. So anyway, so that was the number one question I got asked, and you know, I just wanted to share with you guys that is the mod that I used, the UH1H Attachments mod by Eightball. I will include links to all the mods that I'm talking about in the description below, so you guys can go check them out. The next question I got asked a lot about was the base setup that you're seeing on screen right now with the World War II Marianas Map. I threw this together in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe, using the Vietnam Assets Pack by Tobisen and Eightball. The cool part of the Vietnam Assets Pack is that it comes free if you download the OH6A Cayuse mod that they put out, so it's part of that. And again, it's loaded with era-appropriate assets, bunkers, tents, sandbags, the whole nine, VC on bicycles. As you can see on screen, there's a whole bunch of stuff that it has. So if you're trying to build a fire support base or an outpost somewhere deep in the jungle, this is definitely something you want to get. And then there's one last touch that really sells the scene, and that's AM2 Mat mod by SUNTSAG. You know those steel plates used to create makeshift runways and stuff and helipads? That's what this mod gives you. It's included in that mod. So it really helps break up the terrain and add a whole lot of that gritty, lived-in feel to your FOB. So between those three mods, the UH1H Attachments mod, the Vietnam Assets Pack mod, and the AM2 Mats mod, you can create some really immersive environments for Vietnam-style missions now that we have the Marianas World War II map. So there are more mods that I use as well, but at that point we could start going down a laundry list. But those are the main three. There's some other mods where I might use a single asset or something like that out of it, but those are the ones that I use 90% of the time. So there you go. So that's that. Those were the big ones. Now, on to another question that I got asked, which was, if you're using the World War II Marianas Map for Vietnam-style stuff, can the A4 or the F4 actually take off or land on the shorter dirt runways? And so what I did, and you'll see it on screen now, is I tested it. I wasn't sure. I didn't, want to be telling people something that wasn't necessarily true. So I tested it. And let me start by saying that I am not a fixed wing guy. Okay, my primary stuff is rotary stuff. Okay, I'm a rotor head. So my takeoff skills are, let's just say, enthusiastic but not refined. Even with that in mind, I was able to get the A4 airborne from a dirt strip barely. Like it was basically at treetop level by the end of the runway, and it was kind of close. To make things sort of harder yet more realistic, I had a full loadout. I had 3 fuel tanks, and the rest of the pylons were loaded with GBUs. I guess like the 500-pound ones were like the general purpose ones. So she struggled, and you could see it in the video. She's shaking like like a crackhead, as she's struggling to get off the ground. But I got her up, so yes, it is doable, and that's just with the straight dirt runways. I think the one I was at is Again. It's in on the island of Guam. It's the northernmost of the, I think, 2 runways on Guam. So there you go. So is it doable? Yeah. But is it comfortable? No. And you need to keep your weight in check. Honestly, if you're planning on doing like repeated sorties from the dirt strips, I'd say either shorten your loadout or work some metal matting, again, from the AM2 mats mod, into your base layout to give yourself a little bit more margin for error. But yeah, so to answer that question, it is in fact doable with the A4, so that you can take off and land from some of those shorter dirt runways. Yeah, those were the top questions from the last video, and I just wanted to touch base on them because, like I said, you guys ask questions, and in this community, a lot of times I see people ask questions and it just ends up in the ether and there's no real response to it. So I figured you guys asked me some questions, and if I had the answers, I would try to get them to you in a sort of formalized way. So here we are. Anyway, those were the top ones that we got, and I'm always happy to do more follow-ups like this, especially when the community gets involved and start sharing tips and loadouts and setups and ideas and stuff like that. So if you got more questions, drop them in the comment section below. And if you're doing your own like NOM builds or scenarios, tag me or link them and stuff like that, because I'd love to check them out. And as always, thanks again for watching. If you found this helpful or entertaining, hit that like button, drop a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I got more videos coming soon, so that's gonna do it for now. Until then, this is your boy AdlerTag, so wheels up, stay safe, and I will see you on the deck. Peace.